What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I was actually going to run this beast. I got the right batteries for it. If you notice in our last video, I talked about the batteries and how I needed to put some different batteries in it to really unleash its power. Well, today I was going to do that. It started storming. It started raining. It's pouring down right now. It's not good weather at all. So I still thought, let's just still do a video of something, So I thought we'd do a size comparison video. This beast versus some other RC cars. I thought it'd be cool. That way you can see just how big it is. Sometimes on screen it's kind of hard to show how big these vehicles are. But I thought it'd be a good idea if we could just show just how massive this thing is in comparison to other cars. And actually, if anyone's in the market to purchase RC cars, it'll give you a chance to see how some of those other RC cars stack up to this one as far as size, because everybody may not want anything this big. That's perfectly fine. I understand that, because not everybody's into this big stuff. But it'll give you an idea of how some RC cars or some other RC cars stack up to this one as far as size is concerned. The first one up that we have is the Cox Bandito. COX, the Cox Bandito. Believe it or not, folks, you see that's itty bitty. That's tiny. That's teeny in comparison to this truck. It almost goes under the truck. Seriously. But this Cox Bandito, believe it or not, is actually from the 80s. And the Cox Bandito in the 1980s, y'all. So old school RC people, you all know exactly what this car is. This was like one of the earlier quote unquote hobby shop models that you could get. This is old school. And this one's still around. This one survived. But not getting into technicalities on power, speed, and all that kind of stuff. We're just doing size comparisons today. But if you have any additional questions about any RC car I put up, be sure to post it down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer those, okay? But just strictly size comparison. So you see the size of the poor Bandito in comparison to the Traxxas Xmaxx. That's just insane. Like, really? Really? Yeah, that's massive. So anyway, that's the Traxxas That's the Cox Bandito, rather. It's about the size of the hood of this truck. Isn't that crazy? That's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's the Bandito, y'all. All right, so the next one we're gonna put up is actually made by the same manufacturer as this one. This one is the Traxxas Bandit. They call this the Traxxas Bandit. This is actually what they call the VXL version. And I know a lot of people aren't familiar with. If you're not into RCs or you just learning about it, it's like, what is VXL? What does that mean? All that stuff. Well, the VXL line of certain vehicles, they make a standard Traxxas Bandit, and they make which is called a brushed version, and then they make the VXL line, which is this one, which is called a brushless version. Which means this one's faster. Okay, that's all it basically means. Let's just make it simple. This was faster than the other. That's as simple as I can put it. So this is the Traxxas Bandit, made by the same company. Almost a similar green, isn't it? A little bit different, but both of them still pretty cool. But again, you see the size comparison, right? This is I think they call this a 1/5 scale. Was it a 6 scale? I think it's a 1/5 scale. If I'm wrong about that, somebody correct me, but I think it's 1/5 scale. And this is actually what they call 1/10 scale. So yes, this scale is smaller. Yes, it is. But I just still wanted you to see the size comparison of these vehicles. Again, just in case you wanted to buy one, you wanted to get somebody one. How big is that? Sometimes we want to know how big one is versus the other. So that's the Bandit. All right. So now we're going to move on to our next vehicle. Bandit's not too bad. It's a little bigger than the Cox Bandito. Yeah, that's actually a nice car too. All right, so let's put the Bandit up. The next one is actually an 8th scale vehicle, so it's a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. This is called this one's made by Arrma. This is the Arrma Typhon. That's what they call it. Typhon. It's spelled right there on the side of the car. Arrma Typhon. This is 8th scale. You can see that's actually a little bit bigger than the other buggies we had. I'll bring the Bandito back up. Now, let's bring the Bandit back up. let's bring the Bandit up, because the Bandit is 10th scale. Let you see that. You'll see the 8th scale. You see how let's line the wheels up to wheel. You see how the 8th scale is a little bit bigger? I'm just lining the rear wheels up. I can move the X back a little bit, line the front wheels up. Just on the buggy, you see the difference in the sizes of those? So again, this is what they call a 10th scale vehicle. The Typhon is what they call an 8th scale vehicle. And I know it's weird because the number is going down, but it seems like the size is going up, and that's how it is in RC vehicles. You got 1/16, I mean not 1/16 scale. Is it 1/12 scale? I think that's what it is. No, it is 16th scale. I'm confusing myself. No, I think it is 16th scale. They've got some smaller RC vehicles. They're actually smaller than this one, but they're still fast. But then you get into the 1/10 scale vehicles, the 1/8 scale vehicles. The numbers are going down. Again, 1/5 scale. So the lower the number, the bigger the vehicle is. There's actually a vehicle bigger than this one. Can you believe that? Yeah, it is. One that's bigger than this one. But now you see the size comparisons. And we'll bring the Bandit. This is actually, if I remember correctly, this is the odd size. I think they call this a 1/12 scale. I believe that's what the Bandit is rated. But you can see the size of that. You see how it's just a little bit smaller than the Bandit. All the front wheels are lined up, but you can see the size comparison. So again, this was an odd size right here. I think that one's what they actually call a 1/12 scale. So again, it was a cool car, a hobby grade, nice little car. But again, that's old school technology. I just keep it around because it's a classic, Now you got to keep the classics. All right, so let's put the Bandit back. Now you've seen that comparison. And again, this is the Typhon. This is you can see the width on the Typhon. Again, this is 8th scale versus the Xmaxx. Oh my goodness. The weight comparison, y'all, it's not even close. I can't remember how much this Xmaxx actually. I want to say this thing is. I want to say this thing is like 20 something pounds. It might be just slightly 20 something, a higher 20s, I believe it is. But no, you'd have to do research on that. I can't remember, but it's heavy. It really is. Nothing in comparison to these things. But you can see the width on. You can even see look at the tires on the buggies versus the width of the tires on Xmaxx. That's insane. That's ridiculous. My goodness, it's insane. Yes, it is. It's pretty big when you start breaking out in the sweat every time you move it. That's insane, y'all. Still getting over this cough, y'all. You got to forgive me. Okay, so that's the Typhon. All right, so we'll pull the Typhon out. Now, we'll pull out a vehicle. This one has been catching a lot of attention on the market. I noticed there's forums out there. A lot of guys are getting into this truck. And this is one we've actually shown on the channel quite a bit. You have to forgive the body because the body is beat up, okay? A lot of people wanted to see the comparison of this. How big is the Kyosho USA 1 versus the size of the Traxxas Xmaxx? Now, the Kyosho USA 1 is also considered, it's not a 5th scale, it is considered an 8th scale. But this 8th scale, it's kind of a big 8th scale. Again, y'all, don't pay no attention to the body. Yes, it is beat up. It is. I have a new body, but I didn't put that on there because I wanted you to see what the size of the factory body. I didn't want to put an aftermarket body on here and say, okay, the truck is this big in comparison to this. No, I'm lining everything up just as it comes out of the box. So what you see here is what comes straight out the box. What you see here is what comes straight out of the box. So these are the two beasts right here. Now you see the Kyosho USA 1 is actually, it's pretty stout. It is. Now it is not as big as the Xmaxx. Okay, it is not. Clearly, you can see that the Xmaxx still towers it as far as height is concerned. It still clears it as far as width is concerned. I'll spin them in just a second so you can see that. This is a lot of truck to spin, y'all. Both these things. That's insane. But this truck has been getting a lot of attention lately. As far as people buying RC vehicles, it's a fun truck. Oh gosh, this is a fun truck. It really is, y'all. I mean, it's a blast. I love running this truck. This is a beast, don't get me wrong, but this truck right here is so much fun. This is the one you've seen me do backflips and all that kind of crazy stuff with. I'm still kind of getting used to this one. I'm just Still a little timid with it and trying not to break it, but that's okay. That's all right. I'll figure it out. But again, today, not getting into too much technicalities, not too many technicalities. Just want you all to see the size comparison, okay? So you can see the size difference of the wheels just as it stands. All right, let me see if I can spin them for you so you can see them from the front. You can tell by how bad they're beat up which one I've had the longest, right? So, okay, here we go. Oh, man. Oh, this truck is heavy, buddy. My goodness. And the Kyosho USA 1 is a whole lot lighter than this thing. It's a lot lighter, but it is a beast. Trying to get this up here on my makeshift table. Come on now. Sit up here. All right, so hopefully you can see the width of those two. The Xmaxx still has it. Even though when you pick it up, let me shift the Xmaxx over because the Kyosho it's a really decent sized truck, especially for the money. This thing is probably half of what this costs. Yeah, I think it is. Either half. Yeah, I think you're right here. I think it is right at half. But again, that is a fun truck, y'all. Like seriously, that is a fun truck. Excuse me. All right, let me get this Xmaxx over here. All right, move this thing. Y'all, this thing is so big. This truck is a beast. My goodness, it is so big. So I wanted to move it over. I hope it will still fit in the camera. I think it will. If my big head will fit in the camera, I think these trucks will. So I just want to give you an idea of the width. Okay. Whoa, where's the Xmaxx going? Get back up here. Get back up here. Get up here. Y'all, my makeshift table ain't working out too good. The Xmaxx is so big. It won't even stay on the table. It's just so big. Hold on, we can get this. We're gonna get it. We're gonna figure something out. We'll get it. It's just so big. My goodness. All right, let's try that again. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Don't do it. I know you want to laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. I'm trying, y'all. All right. See if we can give you a comparison on the width. Can you see that? Can you see it? The Xmaxx is still wider, isn't it? I tell you, the Xmaxx is it's just a beast. It is an absolute beast. It really is. So that gives you a size comparison there of the Kyosho USA 1 versus the Xmaxx. I'll turn them to the side also. That might help you to get an idea lengthwise how they stack up. Twist this back around. Gosh, that truck is such a beast. My goodness. Ooh, that thing is so big. All right, let's see here. Let's move this one up so you can kind of see that, and then we'll stack the USA 1 on top of it. All right, there we go. I hope all that fit in the camera. I hope it did. I hope so. So now you get an idea of how big the USA 1 is versus the Traxxas Xmaxx. Now you can see the size comparison. As you can tell, the Xmaxx is just absolutely huge, y'all. It's just huge. It's absolutely huge. And to be honest with you, that's why I love it so much. I love the big RC cars. That's actually why I got the Kyosho USA 1 too, because I knew it was on the bigger side. And then when the deal came through on the Xmaxx, you ever get one of those deals that just come through, you just can't turn it down? Like, I gotta get that. I can't let that deal go by, So that's what happened with this one. That's why I picked this one up too. So, but yeah, this thing is such a nice truck. So, the model cars that you buy that you just put on your shelf, the 1/18 scale model cars. So just in case you have those, how does the Xmaxx compare to that? All right, maybe you don't have any RC cars and you just want to see how big it is. Well, here's a 1/18 scale car that you get from Sam's Club, Costco, a model car. You can see how big that is in comparison to the Xmaxx. Does that give you a size comparison? Does that give you an idea how big that thing is? Yeah, it's massive. It really is. Trying to give you something else. There's one more thing I wanted to do And I don't see it, y'all. I thought I brought it out here with me, but I didn't. Okay. Okay, well, I didn't bring it out here with me, so, oh well, I thought I had it. But anyway, that gives you an idea of how big and massive this thing is. It really does. I don't know what else I can show you size comparison wise to demonstrate just how big this thing is. I mean, you want a pair of my glasses, my reading glasses? You want to see those? There you go. How about that? Reading glasses, put those on the hood. Does that give you a size comparison? You know how big reading glasses are, right? Yeah, that'll give you an idea right there. There it is. My goodness, I think just the wheels are the size of my glasses, aren't they? The wheels are actually bigger than my glasses. Y'all, the thing is massive. It really is. I really, really like this truck. So, again, if you all saw the other video, you know I had to get some batteries to go in this. The right batteries to go in this. I finally got them. We're ready. It's ripping and running. It's tearing up stuff. And I can't wait to get out there and show it to you all. But again, it's storming right now. It's still raining. I thought the rain might stop by the time I finish this video, and it's not. It's not. So that's going to have to wait till another day. So until then, I hope that helps out some. I don't have anything else. Oh, no. You know what? There is one more vehicle I can compare this to. And it's not just to show how big the Xmaxx is, but it's actually show you all how big the other vehicles are too, just in case you want one of those. My son's sensing. Hold on. Okay. We don't want to forget about this one. This one is actually the Arrma Sentin. If you've been keeping up with our videos, you'll see the surprise. You'll see how this one came into the family. But yeah, that's the Arrma Sentin in comparison to the Traxxas Xmaxx. That kind of gives you an idea of how big the Xmaxx is, but also how big the Sentin is. That's actually a decent sized truck. It really is. And that's, to my knowledge, that is not an 8th scale. This is still considered a 10th scale. Yeah, I'm just about positive of that. This is still considered a 10th scale. But as you can see, it's actually pretty decent size. It really is. It's decent size, and it's also fast. So this one is actually a really, really good choice too. This one, out of the box, if I remember correctly, out of the box, I think this one's running like 50, a little over 50 miles an hour out of the box. It's fast. It's quick. So that's the front of that one. Let's get a workout and spin the Xmaxx again. God, this is really a workout with this thing. My goodness. Okay. So now I'll give you an idea of the width of these two vehicles. The Sentin is actually not a bad size at all. That's actually really decent size. That's really decent size. It actually is. So that's the Sentin. Let's compare the Sentin to the USA 1. Let's take the Xmaxx down. Oh, that is a big truck. My goodness. Whoa. Let's put the USA 1 up here. And switch the Sentin. Huh. That's actually a pretty decent size, wouldn't you say? I think it is. Yeah, and this is 8th scale, this is 10th scale, but they make some 10th scale vehicles that are they're a little on the large size. Just like this 8th scale vehicle is a little on the large size. So yeah, this is actually a really nice size in comparison to the Kyosho USA 1. So you saw the USA 1 on versus the Xmaxx, but these are actually pretty decent in size. Yeah, that's actually not bad at all. Yeah, not bad at all. So with this being 8th scale, let's take the USA 1 back down, and let's actually put an 8th scale vehicle up here. This is 8th scale versus 10th scale. You see how big the 10th scale is? I like to call it an oversized 10th scale. That's what I call it, because I'm just about positive, y'all, and if it turns out that it's 8th, I do apologize, but I'm just about positive this is 10th scale. I'm just about positive of that, okay? So that's what I'm going with. 10th scale, versus A scale. And I call this Tim's, this is like oversized, you know. But when you take the body off, you know, you can see how big the body is. The body is wide. And it's always wide on these stadium type trucks. They're always wide. Even the Traxxas line of these trucks is always wide. So that's why I think this thing looks kind of big. But again, really, really cool. You can see the size comparison on that. We'll take the Typhon back down and we'll give you the size comparison really quick on the... There's a car missing. Oh no, there it is. I see it. Hold on. Let me get that one. Hold on. That RC cars? Come everywhere. Okay. So we'll go with this one. There we go. The Bandit VXL versus the Arrma Sentinel. Just the size. Okay. So that gives you an idea. That's actually 10 scale versus 10 scale. But again, you see how big that is. So yeah, I'll let you just look at that for a second. So that just gives you an idea, again, the size comparison of these cars. So what I'm looking forward to doing, and again, you'll have to stay tuned. The Xmaxx. This is what we're looking forward to running soon. You have to stay tuned, y'all. It's going to run. I'm telling you, we're going to get it out there and you're going to see it. We're going to have a blast with it. We'll get out there and do some wheelies and all kind of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. So I just wanted to put that video out today, just again, so you can see the size comparison of these things. Just kind of give you a better idea of what we're working with. And yeah, that's about it. So of all those cars that are lined out there, if you have any questions on any one of them, any questions as far as, you know, the best place to purchase, all that kind of stuff, of course, that's awesome. You know, everybody likes their favorite place to shop at, right? But, you know, if you're looking for any of these things, perhaps you got somebody, you know, you're trying to figure out, hey, is this age appropriate? Is that too fast for a 3-year-old? I'll probably say yes. Okay, it's too fast for a 3-year-old. Don't get it for a 3-year-old. So, but anyway, just that's the rundown. If you have any questions, comment down below. I promise you I'll get to it. I answer all the questions. We answer all the questions that come in. All right. So, but that's going to do it for today's video. So hopefully that was helpful. I appreciate you watching it. If you liked it, again, if you want to see this thing run at some point soon, make sure you subscribe so you get, you know, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get the notifications when we get ready to run this. Like the channel, please, and share it out to your friends. We can use all of that help, okay? Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, the whole list of things. All right, so we'll see you on the next video.